if a health system could take one data-driven action today to reduce leadership risk, right? Looking at data and strengthen the pipeline for the future. What's that one action? Where should they start? Richard, I'll start off with you.
Well, I think as has been mentioned, although I'll back it up a little bit further, we have to look at the continuum of how to develop a leader. So first of all, hire people that you think eventually could be good leaders into your organization. They may not be a leader, you may not have a leadership opportunity, but hire somebody that has the potential to be a leader. And then groom them, as we've talked about. Give them added responsibility that progresses. Let them exercise their leadership, if you will, so they don't get bored and leave. And then talk to them openly about succession. You're going to lose some people as you develop leaders, but to Dr. Morey's point, if they are aligned with the mission of your organization, hopefully they will stay, and you can groom them and have them ready for when you need them.
Mike, what's your one action, one data-driven action that organizations should look at right now?
Well, it's going to be really similar to what Dr. Freeman mentioned, and that's just, you got to make sure you're hiring the right people for the right kind of potential leadership skills that they may possess. And you have to decide on the metrics of what that right person is and what does that look like. And you have to be ready to deal with the fallout if someone leaves the organization too. So you kind of have to balance all those as you're looking at that. But I always look at, is this person the right kind of, do they have the right kind of, value compass that's going to be successful in this organization?
Rob, same question for you.
Yeah, I agree. I think, you want to look for competency, skill sets, and capabilities around, ambiguity tolerance when you're hiring folks in. We know that, being able to be agile and adaptable is going to be critical, right? Measure for integrity. We can do that now through our assessments that we provide. Right. And it's fascinating how you can drill down and get to measurable levels of, integrity and their ability to communicate and not just financial acumen but also what's vision and strategy. There's a saying that's out there and I think we should all take to heart when we're thinking about hiring and also when we're thinking about retaining our leaders. We know we've discussed today at length in great detail what those skill sets look like, what those competencies, what that experience looks like, but I would say, hey, listen, there's a saying that says is your business healthcare or is healthcare your business? Right. There's a big difference. And I think that, it's, sometimes they cross paths and it's hard to dissect that, but you want to be in that place where you're hiring people where their business is healthcare, right? That's what they do. It just doesn't happen to be a part of their business. So I'll end.
Betty, what's your one action?
I would say manage leadership risk just like you would financial risk. And start by assessing your leadership pipeline and the skills that you need for your organization.